All right, let's get right into it. We're not here to talk about some far-off, distant future of marketing. We're talking about right now, today, a present that is being fundamentally rewritten by AI as we speak. Think of this as an urgent, critical briefing for every marketing leader out there, because the calls you make in the next 12 to 24 months, well, they're going to set the stage for your company's entire next decade.
And what does that really mean? Look, we're not talking about getting a tiny little leg up on the competition here. This is a massive fork in the road for your entire strategy. The stakes, they've literally never been higher. And every single decision you're making right now is going to have these ripple effects that just build and build over time. It's going to create the clear winners and, frankly, leave some folks permanently behind.
And here's the bottom line. You know that whole let's wait and see approach? Or let's just run a few small pilots? Yeah, that time is officially over. That window of opportunity, the one where you could build a real, lasting advantage with AI, it is slamming shut. And it's happening way faster than any of us thought. You have to act, and you have to act now.
Which brings us to our first major point here, the AI mandate. We are so far past the point where AI was just a nice-to-have or some cool toy for tiny improvements. It is now an absolute must-have. It's about survival. This is existential. And if you don't believe me, let's just look at the numbers.
And what's just wild about this is the market has already made its decision. I mean, look at this. 78% of companies are already using AI in some way, right now. But the real kicker? Over the next 3 years, 92% are planning to pour money into generative AI. So what does this tell you? It's simple. Waiting? That's not a strategy anymore. That's just giving up. The race is on, and it started yesterday.
Okay, so what does this disruption actually feel like on the ground? Well, it's kind of this two-headed monster you have to wrestle with. On the one hand, AI gives you these amazing, almost instant boosts in efficiency. It's incredible. But, and this is a huge but, to actually get those gains, you have to be willing to completely tear down and rebuild your marketing department. And you, as a leader, you've got to juggle both of these things at the exact same time.
And this slide just lays out that tension perfectly. Yeah, you get those huge 20–30% productivity jumps because you're automating all that repetitive tactical stuff. But the second you do that, the old way of doing things just breaks. It completely shatters the old org chart. You're forced to rethink your entire team structure. You've got to invent new roles, put new rules in place, and honestly, it even changes the way you have to lead. It's a package deal. You cannot get the prize without the pain of the overhaul.
Okay, so let's talk numbers. What happens when you actually get this right? What's the payoff? Well, first up, top-line revenue. When you use AI to do that thing we've been dreaming about for years, true one-to-one hyper-personalization, but at a massive scale, you see a revenue lift of 10 to 15%. And let's be clear, that's not a rounding error. That is serious, measurable growth, tied directly back to AI.
All right, next up, let's talk about ROI. Think about it. When you have AI in the background, constantly optimizing your campaigns 24/7, tweaking bids, refining targeting, swapping out creative on the fly, the result can be up to a 30% boost in your marketing ROI. Suddenly, you're not just throwing money at the wall. Every dollar is working harder. It's just so much smarter with way less waste.
And the last piece of this puzzle? Your costs. When you use predictive analytics to spot your best potential customers before you spend a dime trying to get them, you can slash your customer acquisition cost by up to 50%, half. So let's just add it all up. More revenue, way better ROI, and dramatically lower costs. The business case here? It's a slam dunk, undeniable.
Okay, so the why is crystal clear. The billion-dollar question is how. And the answer is, you have to completely re-architect your team from the ground up. This isn't something you can just bolt on to your existing org chart. That just won't work. You have to design and build a totally new kind of department, one that's built for the age of AI. So let's dive into what this actually means for your people.
And this map right here, this is so important to understand. All those jobs that are based on repetitive, rules-based tasks, entry-level copywriting, coordinating simple campaigns, basic data pulls, they are extremely vulnerable. But what's fascinating is what's replacing them. We're seeing this explosion of new, highly strategic roles. We don't need doers as much as we need directors, people who can orchestrate AI. Think of them like a conductor leading an AI orchestra playing a personalized symphony for every single customer. The whole game is shifting from doing the work to directing the work.
But this creates a huge, huge problem that we have to talk about. Those entry-level jobs, the ones where we've always trained our junior talent, they're vanishing. It's this weird entry-level paradox.
How do you grow your next generation of leaders when the first rung of the ladder has been sawed off? It means we, as leaders, have to invent completely new ways to develop talent. The old career path is just broken.
And that leads to this quote, which is maybe the most important mindset shift for everyone on your team. It's not that AI is going to take your job. It's that a person who knows how to wield AI is going to take your job. See? AI isn't the enemy. It's the weapon. It's the tool. Being able to use AI effectively, that's the new baseline. It's not a special skill anymore. It's the required skill. It's the new literacy. And if you can't, or worse, won't learn it, you are going to be left behind. Period.
So what does this new team actually look like on an org chart? Well, for one, it's a lot flatter, it's way more cross-functional, and it's really built around these 4 pillars. First, you've got your data intelligence crew, the ones feeding the beast with good, clean data. Then you have AI strategy and ops. They're the bridge between the tech and the actual business goals. Your creative team is still absolutely vital, but now they're focused on brand stewardship and this new art form called prompt engineering. Basically, knowing how to ask the AI the perfect questions to get genius-level results. And finally, your tech team glues it all together. And the key is these 4 groups can't live in silos. They have to be working together constantly in lockstep.
All right, so we've talked about the why and we've talked about the who. Now, let's get super practical. Let's make this actionable for you right now. If you're a marketing leader, this is your playbook. These are the gut check questions you need to be asking yourself and your team, like today.
Question number 1, and it is the most important one. Let's talk about your data. Are your data foundations actually AI ready? I mean, really, is your data clean? Is it unified? Can you get to it in real time? Or is it a complete mess stuck in a dozen different silos? Because I'm telling you, if your data house isn't in order, nothing else we're talking about matters. You can have the fanciest AI models on the planet, and they will be completely useless. This is step 1. It's non-negotiable.
Okay, second question, your people. And listen, you can't just hire your way out of this problem. You have to build your talent from within. So what's your plan? Right now, to get your entire team fluent in AI. And I don't just mean teaching them which buttons to click. I mean, how are you developing their strategic judgment so they know how to guide the AI wisely? And this is not an HR issue to delegate. This is a core, strategic responsibility that sits directly with the CMO.
And question number 3. This one is about protecting your brand. Look, AI is amazing at creating stuff. Tons of it. But it can also churn out the most generic, soulless, bland content imaginable. People are starting to call it AI slop. So the question for you is, how are you going to put the guardrails in place? What's your plan for human oversight to make sure that AI is a tool that enhances your creativity and your brand's voice instead of watering it down into mush?
Now, this all sounds like a mountain to climb. I get it. But the good news is you don't have to do it all at once. There's actually a pretty clear roadmap for this. Phase 1, in the first 6 to 12 months, is all about the foundation. You get your data governance right. You pilot a few low-risk projects to get some quick wins. Then, in Phase 2, you start to scale. You take what you learned, you redesign your creative workflows, you start using AI for things like dynamic budget allocation. And then, in Phase 3, you get to full transformation. This is where you have total integration, maybe even AI agents running entire campaigns, with humans providing that strategic oversight. It's a journey.
Which brings us to our final and maybe most important section. The one big idea that hangs over all of this is the power of compounding advantage. And it makes the choice you have incredibly simple and incredibly stark. You either lead this change or you will be left behind by it. There is no middle ground.
You know, we often think about the risk of inaction as just missing out on an opportunity. But it's so much more dangerous than that. These are active threats to your business. Your brand could become boring and homogenized. You could get hit with huge fines for data privacy failures. You could find out your algorithms are perpetuating biases you never intended. And the scariest one? You fall so far behind your competition that the gap becomes literally insurmountable. You can never catch up.
So, you see, the end goal here isn't just to use AI. It's to build a culture of responsible AI. That's the magic formula right there. It's where you combine the insane efficiency of the technology with what makes us human, our judgment, our ethics, our strategic oversight. That combination, that is the only way to build a competitive advantage that actually lasts. I want to leave you with a cold, hard, mathematical reality. Remember those 20–30% productivity gains we mentioned earlier? Well, here's the thing. That's not a one-time bump.
that gain compounds. Year 1, you're 20% ahead. Year 2, you're 20% ahead of that new higher baseline. It snowballs. The companies that move now are building an advantage in their cost structure and their speed that is growing exponentially. Pretty soon, the gap between the leaders and the laggards won't just be big, it's going to be absolutely overwhelming.
So really, it all boils down to this final question. The train is absolutely leaving the station. The choices that will define the winners and losers for the next 10 years in marketing are being made as we speak, right now. So the only question left isn't about the technology. It's a personal one for you as a leader. Are you going to be the one who leads this change? Or are you going to be the one 5 years from now trying to explain why you were left behind?